My name is Jayquon Lewis. I am a 17-year-old and I live in Toronto. The story I'm going to share with you today is about my experience migrating from the island named Haiti to the United States. I don't remember much because I was only 6 at the time, but what I do remember I will share. When I first arrived to the United States, my parents were already living there and they had another son within the US. I was left back in Haiti with my grandmother because they couldn't get me into the country. When I arrived in Florida, I remember seeing big buildings and being on a plane for the first time. I remember the city lights and the loud honking of thousands of cars. When I first met my dad, I had no idea who he was. I was very surprised when he took me into his car, leaving my uncle behind, standing at the airport. When he drove away, I started crying and screaming and thinking stranger was taking me away. When he told me the story, he said that I went on for half the ride home, and it was like an hour ride. I had no idea who this man was. I had no idea it was my father. I was so used to being around my grandparents and thinking they were my parents. I didn't even know about my real parents when I arrived. When we arrived at the house, I saw someone I recognized, my aunt. She used to live with me back in Haiti, but left for the promised land about a year before I did. I was so happy to see someone I knew. I hugged her and felt safe. I then met my mom. I was still in denial about who my parents were. I didn't believe that was my mom. My brother was 2 years young at the time. I looked down on the baby boy sleeping in the crib. I saw my brother for the first time, but to me, he was only a stranger. America is very different from Haiti. I remember playing around with all the other kids in the neighborhood and just running around playing hide and seek and tag and everything. All the older people used to sit on porches and watch and converse as we played. It was like everyone in the neighborhood was like a big family unit. I do miss it at times, but America is a better place, a place of opportunity.